Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to achieve this vampire makeup look, which is pretty easy and good for a last minute costume idea. If you want to know how to recreate this, then keep on watching. Okay, so the first thing I did was moisturise my face using the Neutrogena Hydro Boost. The next thing I did was spray the Rimmel 2-in-1 primer and setting spray all over my face and my sponge. For foundation, I use the Rimmel Match Perfection in the shade Light Porcelain. Make sure you use a foundation that is a couple of shades lighter than your skin tone because this will give you that vampy, dead look. You can also use a white face paint or even mix this in with your foundation, but I chose not to do this as it would take longer. For concealer, I chose to use my favourite Tarte Shape Tape, which worked out really well because it was quite a bit lighter than my skin tone, so it added to the effect. I then set under my eyes, my nose, my chin and my forehead using the Airspun powder, and then also put a light layer over the rest of my face because I don't have a normal powder at the moment. This was just to make sure that my foundation wasn't sticky, because when you go to blend your bronzer and your eyeshadows and stuff on your face, it's really hard when you've got a sticky surface. I then quickly brushed and filled my eyebrows in using the sleek brow kit in the shade Dark. Okay, so moving on to the best bit, the eyes. I started by using this shade from the Revolution Reloaded Neutrals 2 palette, and I put this into my crease. Make sure you blend this really well because this is your transition shade and it will make it a whole lot easier for blending the rest of the colours later. I then took this pink shade and blended it into my crease as well, but didn't blend this quite so far up as the last shade. The next shade I used was this darker pink, and I put this on the outside V of my eye. I then took this purple shade from the Morphe palette 35W and blended this on top of the rest of the colours. I just thought that it made it look a little bit more realistic instead of just a pink makeup look. I then took a bigger fluffy brush and made sure that everything was blended really well. Okay, so moving on to the black part of my eye, I took this really cheap MUA gel eyeliner and put this halfway up on my eyelid. This doesn't have to be neat at all. As you can see in a minute, I go a little bit wrong, but it doesn't matter because you're going to cover it with black eyeshadow next. I took the black shade out of that same Morphe palette and then patted it onto that gel liner just to set it in place, and then I blended it up carefully into the rest of the colours. Started with just a little bit of eyeshadow on my brush and then gradually built this up, because trust me, this can get out of hand really quickly and you will end up with no colour left on your eye and just black. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably the hardest part of this makeup look because it took forever to blend the black, and I don't know whether that's because it's the shade that I used or because it's such a dark colour, but just make sure that you have a little bit of time to do this. After I'd finished blending, I went in with a little brush and I filled in some of the parts that were a bit patchy on my eye with some more black, and then after that I went in with a bigger fluffy brush and I put a little bit more purple on the outer edges of my eye because some of the colour had been lost. I then took that same pink shade from before and put this on my bottom lash line and dragged this down to my cheek to give that bruised effect and make me look more dead. I blended this out with my powder brush just to make it look a little bit more real because it was looking a little bit fake, so feel free to do this if you go a little bit overboard like I did. Okay, so now that that is all blended, I took this black kohl liner from Rimmel and I put this on my waterline and then underneath my lash line, and then blended this out using a small brush. I added a little bit more black eyeshadow to the outer V of my eye and blended this down to the lower lash line just to make sure it was all seamless, and then I applied some mascara to my top lashes. And then I applied some fake eyelashes off camera because I'm really bad at it. Once I had done all of that, I put some mascara on my bottom lashes and then filled in my eyebrows a bit more just to make them more defined. I then used some Benefit Gimme Brow just to make sure that my eyebrows stayed in place. Okay, so on to the fun bit now. I brought this face paint from Poundland, which I'm not gonna lie is absolute shit, so I don't recommend getting it at all. Get some better stuff and it would work perfectly. I put some purple on my really thin brush and drew lines from my lash line to my cheeks to make them look like veins. This was really easy to do, and you can do as many veins as you like. As you can see, I chose to go quite overboard, which you don't have to do. I then added some red veins in to make it look a little bit more realistic because you don't just have one colour of veins in your face.
Lines. And then we've just been messing with them.
Someone's at the door. Oh my god. That is really awkward. There's a delivery driver at the door right now and I can't go and answer it like this, so they're just going to have to leave it outside. Lol.
To contour, I use the MAC eyeshadow in the shade Quarry. You don't have to use this exact shade, but any eyeshadow that is cool toned and is a bit grey will work really well. I just use this on the places that I would normally contour, so my forehead, my cheekbones and my jawline, but when it came to the cheekbones I dragged the contour a little bit lower towards my chin so that it looked a bit more hollowed out. I then took that same shade on a small brush and contoured my nose just a little bit. For lipstick you can use any that are a dark red, purple or vampy sort of shade. I just chose to use this Rimmel one in the shade Alarm. This part is totally optional, but I just chose to add a little bit of fake blood dripping down from my mouth to finish the look. Okay, so this is the completed vampire makeup look. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe down below and give it a like because it really supports me and it lets me know which videos you prefer watching. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next video.